show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Lining up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heart be needing. Skipping out, no, I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, yeah, you take me higher, baby.
Welcome to Radical Truth to Power, the progressive news show with Les BSery. I am your host, Marlon Clyburn, and along with Anna Hart. And today's show, we're going to jump right back into the Supreme Court, not listening to the people of the land and decide upon themselves that they're going to get rid of Roe versus Wade. And what could possibly happen, although we know, but what could happen afterwards. But we're also going to take a look at the protests that happened across the weekend and what is next when it comes to the states actually fighting back. Of course, we're also going to do Am I the A-hole, Potsy's videos of the week, and True or Nah. But before we get started, Anna, how are you tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. This was a good busy weekend, and I'll tell you about it in a few.
Okay. Tracy is running late. Diaz will not be on the show today, so there's half the anger out of the show right there. So
we should get out in time.
Well, we'll see if he's not coming on the show. So right now he's not coming on the show. But you know, he'll listen to something and then he can't help himself. But he is out with his family, so maybe that will corral him enough to go, nah, I'm just going to let it slide. So we'll see. But before we even get started, welcome or welcome back. If you are new to this show, please, if this is the kind of content that you like, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We actually picked up 2 people yesterday. Excuse me. So it is getting up there and out there. Also, while you at it, do me another favor and please hit that like button. I would truly, truly appreciate it. As you may or may not know, the more likes that these videos get, the more the algorithm will tell YouTube to suggest these videos out to more people. And the more people that this is suggested to, the more we can get our messaging out. So I would appreciate if everybody could do that for me right here, right now. Before we get started, let's see who we already got on here. So, Anna.
I want to hear you read this.
They jacked up our algorithm when we thought that they jacked up the autonomy when they thought we had harmony. From the start of the game, they promised all would remain the same. Shame of us to believe them, and I ignored the death of our pain. Boom.
Boom.
I came from the 80s, 90s.
No.
Now, I know how these days go. But again, as Anna did suggest, please do not forget to hit likey this video, share in your social media circles, and subscribe if you haven't already. Peace and love. Truly appreciate it, everybody. Mickey, I'm here for the rage. I'll do my best, but you know, I'm not that type of person. I like to keep things calm on this show, so we'll see.
Who do you want me to flip off tonight, Mickey?
Wow. And it's funny. I
Hey,
guess it's your turn. And Susan, hello, Susan.
hello,
How are you?
hello.
So, without any further ado, let's get this party started. Now, we all know that the protest for the Roe versus Wade being overturned was going to happen. We all knew that. I and maybe a few other people did also say it was going to turn violent.
I think this summer is going to be marked with violence.
Yeah, you accumulate the fact that Roe versus Wade was overturned, which is going to create more protests. You also have the simple fact that gun laws have been like the lightest, I think, ever. And it's the summer, everybody hot. Those three things right there was going to create a storm. So we're just going to take a look at what happened over the weekend.
Many protests across the country this weekend following the Supreme Court's Roe v. Wade reversal were largely peaceful, but it's incidents like these that have law enforcement officials on high alert. An off-duty Providence, Rhode Island police officer who's running for office as a Republican, seen here punching his Democratic opponent at an abortion protest. That officer is now suspended and dropping out of his race. In Arizona, police used tear gas to disperse abortion rights protesters who breached the state capitol. And in Iowa, a pickup truck driver allegedly struck an abortion rights demonstrator after an argument. The concern from federal law enforcement officials is that extremists on the far left and the far right are seizing this divisive moment to incite violence.
We are seeing in chatter online and domestic violent extremist spaces that indicate both white nationalists, anti-government extremists view this as a target of opportunity.
In a bulletin obtained by ABC News, the Department of Homeland Security said the abortion ruling could spur violence for weeks, with abortion providers, churches, and judges most at risk.
One of my biggest fears is that somebody else would lose their life or their loved one.
Judge Esther Salas, whose son was murdered in the family's New Jersey home by a man targeting her, has been urging Congress to take action to protect judges.
We know that my son would expect nothing more than for us to not only survive in this world, but he wants us to thrive.
Congress has passed legislation to protect Supreme Court justices and their families, but no amount of security can compensate for the hostility that's now coursing through the country. And Janae, it's not just the abortion ruling. The Supreme Court's concealed carry decision has led to calls on the far right for protesters to arrive armed.
It's going to be a storm. Now, we already know that there are extremists on the left, but they're not even at the capability of the right. They're not even remotely at that level. And these people, quite honestly, just don't care. I can't think of a better way of saying it other than their rights, their beliefs, their truth, and the only way they seem fit is by intimidation and death. That's it. That's their marching orders, so to speak. As you heard the guy at the end, the far right is already saying, when you go into that protest, go in packed. they're not going to make. They're purposely. I can fundamentally say that they purposely is not going to make this a peaceful protest in any way, shape, or form. The police, you could obviously see right there, are not going to make this a peaceful protest. And this is pretty much the concept of what I've always said was they already have in their head that they're right, that there's nothing you're going to change that's going to think that they're not right, and they're willing to take your life to prove that they're right. Anna?
I'm usually somebody who, when I hear about a protest somewhere within my vicinity, I'm there. This weekend, violence was on the back of my mind, yeah, but I actually saw that I could be of more use at home because I heard about a few meetings that were happening. And so instead of sitting in the anger and having that fuel a protest, as good as that feels, this weekend felt better. This was Planned Parenthood in the 3 states down the West Coast, Washington, Oregon, and California. I believe Nevada is going to be joining. We have protected abortion rights. So we are trying to establish something like a highway where if somebody in a part of the country that needs help, but their state outlaws, we're going to get them out west or to someplace safe and help them. And there are a lot of plans, a lot of people that are joining these meetings. Everything from the Women's March to March for Our Lives. It's like we got the message finally. Someone got it that, okay, it's time to start to come in together. Really put in our organizing hats and talk. Where are we going to go? What can we do? How can we help in the corner of the country that we live? And like I said, as good as protesting does make me feel, sitting and organizing, being in 3 meetings before noon, which is highly irregular for me, it felt wonderful. And we're putting in place the beginnings of a system that will help some people. It won't help everybody, but it will help some people. And that's a win. They pushed us to this. I guess we were just trying to use our anger in a different way instead of the same old way.
Tracy, welcome. What you got to say?
Hey, honey.
I'm glad Anna is optimistic. Because I'm gonna need all of her. I need all of her optimism because I am usually not a quitter. There's no quit in me. I always tell people when you push me down, I get back up. You push me back, I'm gonna go forward. You slap me, I might slap you back, but that's just on an off day. But this is just making me want to just quit because I'm saying that partially because our state. I live in a very red state of Indiana. And Indiana, right now, you can get an abortion. But our governor, who just made it possible for those who were getting SNAP benefits to recertify, they have to recertify for SNAP benefits all of a sudden, has now decided he's pro-life. He's going to call a special session July the 6th to essentially and access to health care for women. I'm so mad on so many points, but I think I'm the maddest, and Lord forgive me, but I'm maddest at the church folk. That's what I'm the maddest at, because they're trying to say, like, a fetus and a baby are two different things. What are you talking about? Killing a baby is absolutely illegal. It should be. That's a baby. A fetus and a baby is not the same. And then they forget that they have free will. No, they don't forget that they have. And I'm talking about the Christians, because I started my own first. They preach, oh, we got free will, we got free will. Okay, so where's my free will to exercise my rights? But no, it stops. It stops for me. I don't have the free will to make a decision and me be the one that bears the punishment. But apparently you have the right to stop my free will. Who gave you that right? Who's out here giving that right to anybody? That is frustrating me so bad. We can't be this stupid. It just really infuriates me to the uttermost. And it's just making me say, you know what? I'm tired. Let me just move to a blue state and let's just start over, because I can't.
Let me put this up right here. Notice that even though they won, they still claim we are the violent ones. They have to protect themselves.
Yeah, we're the murderers.
Yeah, and that's the gaslighting mantra. This is again what we were saying yesterday. This is something that's already been written up. This has already been written up that this is they're going to say that regardless of what happened. You could have militias come in and flat out said, I'm a white terrorist who hates everybody who don't agree with me, written on the back of their shirt. And every news organization that's far right is going to ignore that and find that one person that's on the left that defended themselves by throwing another punch at somebody who was punching at them and go, see how violent they are? That's all they do. That's all they can do. We
know
as
their
a society just ignore that. I'm telling you off the bat. Ignore that stuff, because that's what they want you to do. If you're concentrating on this, you're not focusing on this. We have a plan now. Now, everybody want to send out the little occasional, oh, look at the hypocrisy and blah, blah, blah. That's fine. But don't level your emotions on it. Okay, we ain't got time to get emotional about their hypocrisy. We ain't got time to be emotional over their gaslighting. We ain't got time for all that. You knew they was going to do that. You knew they was going to do that, because that's all they can do. That's a bully mentality. That's their way of trying to coach you into it, because they're going to find any type of way to hurt you.
Have you guys talked about and I had to remember I went to church today, so I'm just gonna call him Mitch McConnell. That's all I'm gonna call him. Because I ain't in the mood for him today. That now they're talking about when they win the House and the Senate, they're gonna try to pass through a national ban on abortion. Didn't the Supreme Court just rule it's a states' right? So how does the
I didn't hear that. Yeah.
I didn't hear it. I'm not shocked by it.
Yeah, because like
at
y'all
all.
just said it was states' rights. How are you saying it's states' rights, but now you're going to pass national legislation? Oh, and we can carry guns anywhere we want. Hey, whatever.
Where's the biblical authority to call abortion unchristian in a way?
Because, Susan, they're getting it from a couple of verses. They're getting it from, I know it's in Jeremiah where it says, I knew you when I formed you in the womb. I'm pretty sure that's where they're getting it from, but they're skipping the whole free will part. They're just literally skipping that part. You can't make let's just be respectful to the people that think this is against God's will. Okay, that's what you think. Okay, that's what you think. You have a right to think what you want. But how do you force what you believe on somebody else? that doesn't make sense to me. You tell people, and if they make an alternative choice, that's on them. And
Especially when abortion is a part of other religions.
it is a part, but it's not.
Hmm.
She was asking about Christians, so I was just answering. That's where they get it
But
from.
yes,
This is what's so funny though, and this is what killed me about religion.
They be beating their kids and then talking about
Yeah.
pro-life.
These are the well, yeah, but these are the same people who are so upset that we've we've had less religious people than we've had over the last 100 years. There's less people who are going to synagogues. There's less people who are going to churches. There's less people that's going to temples, and they just don't understand it. Everything. And the funny thing about it is, and they keep thinking, well, the country would be a better place if people would go to church, and then not realizing this and crap like this is the reason why people don't want to deal with you no more. This is
Thank
the
you
reason
so
why.
very, 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 very. Give me a clip of what you just said so I can put it on my page and say this.
They don't want to deal with you because
you're
you are acting freaking nuts.
telling people you can't make people look person that I'm not gonna say they don't know how to interpret, but that's not for me to say. You can't make somebody do anything that you want.
You can't.
I want to take what
You
Marlon
really can't.
just said and be like, this. This is why I'm pro-choice. This. You can't. First of all, I'm a grown woman. You're not gonna tell me nothing at no time. I don't know who you thought you was messing with. I don't know who you thought.
The unchristian.
Exactly. You
This is the
tell
funny
people.
thing about it, though, Susan. I'm gonna stop even calling y'all most of y'all. I'm gonna stop calling most of y'all Christians. You're not Christians. You never were. You go to a Christian church.
I doubt that, but I'm just here.
Yeah, but you go to a Christian church and you know how to read certain paragraphs of the Bible because you refuse to read the whole Bible because that's not. I told y'all before, this is how they get away with stuff. They already have their beliefs, and then they'll scour the Bible to find something to uphold their beliefs. It ain't that they got it out of the Bible. It's the fact that it's the same people who, this is what I believe, and give me a few days and I'm going to look through the whole Bible to show you why I believe that. Not saying that the only reason I believe that because Uncle Joe told me when I was 5 years old that this is what I should believe growing up.
Marlon, you said it exactly. That's why people don't want to go because we're so evil, we're so mean, we're so hateful. And it getting on my. I'm like, we ain't all like this. I hope I'm not like. That's my greatest fear is that I turn into something like that. I want to be like that. I want to walk like that, think like that. There's nothing.
As long as you keep walking from love, as long as that is your inner compass, you are walking beside Jesus. That is what he said.
Love ye one another, even if I love you. But hey, that's just me.
So we're gonna
but
go
it's,
on.
It's like Thea says. It's just like Thea says a lot. There's a difference between those who are believers and then those who call themselves Christians and act from there.
Yeah, they're put it in their mouths. They have no problem saying it, but they're not feeling it.
But Marlon, the thing that really frustrates me, and I know my sister's not watching, but she's pro-life, I'm pro-choice. We're the opposites. Even though we're a year apart, we're like total opposites. Everything we're just opposites on. And I asked her a question once, and I was like, well, you realize that if you cut SNAP and you kill the cops and you put guns in people's hands, you're not really pro-life. And I don't think she's that extreme where she's like, oh, carry a gun. But I think the thing is that crowd, they really think that if you make abortion illegal, somehow that's going to stop the whole thing. And I'm like, huh?
No,
Do they know? They literally, no, Anna, yes, they do. They
Hmm?
literally think that if you stop abortion, it's just all of a sudden going to stop. It's going to stop over. Like, huh? Murder is illegal, but people.
abortion isn't a constitutional right. You are absolutely
Hmm?
100% correct. Abortion is not a constitutional right. However, having said that, I am going to explain to you how I always felt about abortion. I do not like abortion. I wish there was a better way of handling the situation. However, I'm not willing to take away anybody's rights to decide what they're going to do with their body. And I even put a little stamp on it. I have no right to decide that as a male. I don't have to go
And,
through pregnancy. I don't have to go through abortion.
and
I
can
don't
we
have to
speak?
go through
Yeah,
any of that stuff.
exactly.
But I'm
It's,
going to tell a
yeah.
woman, hey, I'm going to decide on what you can and can't
What's
do with
best
your
for
body.
you?
And the
Act your
funny thing
own.
about it is, then that means the next time somebody decides they want to have a vasectomy, I want you to outlaw that too.
But they do because that's more babies. And please, can we just agree the Constitution is a piece of garbage? First of all, I'm not
Hmm.
3/5 of a person. I'm 100% of a person. I don't know who thought of that. So that person that said that, oh, it's not constitutional, neither is making me 3/5 of a person. But hey, I'm just here and I'm going
This
to
is the
put
funny
myself
thing
on mute
about the
after a while.
Constitution. The Constitution was supposed to be updated over the years.
Well, they didn't even think it was going to last because they knew, well, this is garbage. Think about it. Everybody that signed it.
Hey, Anna,
Yeah, that's
glad
the
to
other
have you
one.
back.
Oh, okay.
That's the other one.
And hey, Atlanta, welcome back.
Yep. But that's the other one. But that's what I'm like. You're literally saying it's okay for you to take away something from me to make yourself feel better. And if we went by the Constitution, women couldn't vote, blacks would still be
Hmm.
slaves. But hey, maybe that other commenter was okay with that. I'm not trying to get people off your show. I'm just a little upset, so I'm gonna try to calm myself down.
All through history, abortion was a normal part of family planning, even in the United States. Only when women started to demand equal rights, late 1880s, did the men make abortions illegal.
There you go.
And this is the funny thing about abortion is not a moral obligation at all. Let's just make that perfectly clear. And I'm speaking to the choir, but yeah, I'm speaking to the choir. It isn't a moral obligation at all, because you know damn well this is a shot at the middle class and the poor who can't, because when you're rich and you're capable of going to one of those states or overseas to get an abortion for little Susie because you can afford to do it, you're going to do it.
Yeah, they act like Canada don't exist though. Like Canada's nowhere there, or Mexico. Well, no, you can't have abortions in Mexico. I don't think.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I believe everyone has the right to see it, and that's fine.
Yep, if you think it's
And that's
that's
fine.
what
Because
you
the funny
think.
thing about it is, Atlanta. This is the funny thing about it is, these people choose which sin is a sin.
Sure do.
These are the people who will sit there and tell you, "Oh, you have no right to get an abortion." Now, excuse me as I go talk to my mistress.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Excuse
make
me
sure
as
my
I go over
mistress gets an
here and
abortion.
look at this 19-year-old girl with lust in my eyes. See, you see how you get to pick out what your sin is? But when it comes to certain other people, oh, you can point that sin out in a heartbeat as you're lusted after the next door neighbor.
And when did religion become a part of the government? I thought there was a separation.
Yeah, it was. Abortion should only be legal for specific circumstances, i.e., endangering the mother's life, or if the baby has severe implication that severely impact the quality of life. That's one way of looking at it. And by the way, I'm sorry, Kamala. Kamala or Carmela, which I apologize if I ever say your name wrong because I've come to realize that it can be pronounced several ways. That would be fine. They don't care about that. They're saying period. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's endangering you. It doesn't matter if it was because you was raped, incest. It doesn't matter.
I'm not comfortable telling a 12-year-old, have your rapist baby. I'm just not. There's nothing about me that's going to be comfortable saying you should have that baby.
The question I would like to propose is, if Christianity is denied, many other religions in the U.S. doesn't approve of abortion, why is everyone blaming religion in general? I don't see anyone else calling Muslims who disapprove of it too. But that's why I didn't say Christianity. I said religion.
Muslims approved of abortion. Maybe I'm wrong.
But that's why I said I didn't say Christianity. I said religion.
How many Muslims are sitting on the Supreme Court?
What women? Who's the Muslim on the Supreme Court?
Nobody.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but I thought
they're all Christian, and they are responding to a base that does believe that their religion should have every influence in the country, in schooling,
But there's 3 branches of government, and church ain't one of them. It's just not.
Look at who are the senators, the representatives.
No, you have some Jewish. You got Dianne
We
Feinstein, Chuck Schumer, Bernie Sanders. I know some more, and I just can't think of them all.
But the majority.
You have Rashida Tlaib. My representative is Muslim. You have Ilmar Omar. It's a small number, I agree.
It's a small number. That's my
point. If there are a condition for them when abortion is okay, then holding these conditions for yourself.
If she decides to keep her baby, that's her.
If the woman makes a decision, that's all that matters. And like I said, and
yes,
I can't put this more simple is, honestly, it's the most ghetto way of saying what I got to say, because I can't think of a better way of saying, mind your damn business. It ain't got nothing to do with you. And I'm going to tell you why I pretty much feel the way I feel about it, because these people will fight tooth and nail about abortion, but don't really give a fuck after the damn baby is born.
Yep, what's cussing that?
That's what kills me about this. Y'all will fight to the death to get that baby born, and then fight to the death to pull every supportive thing you could think of to help that child. Because now all of a sudden you figure that, well, it's up to the parent. The parent decided to have them, so the parent should figure it out. Mind your own damn business, or pick a path. If you want the abortion to be banned, and they have the ban, start helping out with the SNAP program. Stop helping out with free lunch and free breakfast at school. Start helping out with child care, with food stamps. But don't sit there and go, now, that's costing the country too much money. We need to cut this. That's on them. They need to take care of it. You can't even pick a fucking path you want to take. You just want to sit there and just control. You are not pro-life, you're pro-control. That's your fundamental thing. You just have this thing inside of you that you just have to control somebody. You have to control somebody's life from the beginning to the end. So now you control them to have the baby, and now you're controlling them to suffer for the rest of their fucking lives by taking.
If you think abortion is wrong, don't one.
Have one. Yeah, don't have
That's
one.
it. Simple as that.
It's real simple. I said, I said, talking about that. She's like, well, I don't know what.
Which has now always been a part.
No, not. It's not named.
Just because the ratio is disproportionate doesn't mean that they're not to blame as well. Explain that for me, Atlanta. I'm not sure what you're saying about that. Explain that.
I know what you're saying, but
just looked at the Judaism approval of abortion. The fetus is considered a part of the woman's body and not a separate entity. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Islam didn't say anything about abortion. One of the things I discovered about contact with Muslim immigrants, and Allah does not want to make life difficult for you.
That's what I thought.
If I don't think a woman should be on the internet or speaking in company of men, would it be okay to make that up? No, because what's going to happen is you're going to get cussed out on that one, buddy.
Mm.
Yeah, by every woman that you know.
You don't have to be religious to believe that a killing of a human form is wrong, so I respectfully disagree. And that's fine. I don't have a problem with you disagreeing with it. What I have a problem is you forcing the beliefs of it on other people. It's the quintessential of me saying when they outlaw Roe versus Wade, it's me saying, no, I want abortion open up to everybody on all circumstances, no matter what, in whatever state, no matter what happens. I don't even care anymore. I want abortion just like a liquor store. I want it on every corner of every place that you could possibly think of. I want an abortion mall where you could just go in and 1 hour later. That's the same thing. I don't like, but I'm just not willing to sit here and force my beliefs on everybody else. It's just not in me to do it. I don't want you to tell me how to live my life, whether you dislike it or not. There's people that don't like this show. I really hope nobody comes and goes, oh, well, let's ban his show. Why? I don't like it.
Don't watch.
There's a little X up there.
A couple more in, then we got to move on. So some men get desperate at the thought of not controlling energy because male is preemptive. Yeah. Less Muslim, Jewish, Buddhists, Hindus, more Christians. So let's blame the Christians just because they are more of them.
That's not actually true.
No.
There are more Islam. There are more people who practice Islam than Christianity. I mean, globally. I mean,
yeah.
There's just are.
Well, in the United States, though, it's Christianity.
Oh, in the United States.
I get what he was saying.
Yeah.
If your position is consistent with war, self-defense, punishment for a crime, or anything else that leads to death, then cool. It's still your guiding principle. Don't push that on. And that's my point. I'm literally not trying to, and this is my deal. I'm not even trying to change your mind if you're pro-life. I'm not. You are who you are. You believe who you believe. I'm not that person. I'm not going to sit there and bash you in the head because you pro-life. I'm just saying that's fine and dandy, but don't push it on me. Don't push it on other people who don't agree with it, and don't forcefully do it by creating laws that's forcibly making you do what you believe. That's all I'm saying. This is the equivalent of saying I don't like. When I was growing up, I don't change now because inflation. But when I grew up, I didn't like men and women staying together until they was married. I just really did not believe in that. I didn't want it to be made a law. I just didn't like it. That's it. I didn't like it. I told my kids that I didn't like it. If you agree not to do it, cool. If they disagree not to do it, oh well. They're grown adults.
Yeah,
You're 17 years older, you try to do it. Every right throw you out the window. But that's me. I know plenty of Christians who support abortions. I don't agree with it, but I'm not going to stop anyone getting one, though I'm not going to protest to end it because you answer for yourself at the end. That's my point. Thank you.
That's where we would say you're more of a believer than a Christian. That we are trying to be very succinct with words because we are talking to a minority of people, but they're a loud minority. And they are getting laws based on the Bible. passed.
No, there's not. They're not getting laws based on the Bible.
What
Their
what they
interpretation.
what they're interpreting.
Interpretations
Yeah,
of
their interpretation.
Thank you.
So I'm like, I be dang on you gonna sit here and tell me, oh well, I'm not gonna get into that because that's a whole lesson y'all ain't really ready for. So I'm gonna just dial it down.
All right. Well, we got to move on anyway because the hour is almost up. I didn't know it was going to take that 40 minutes for that one, honestly. But thank you. Makes the show go a little fast. So we're going to move on what's next.
A look at what could be the next battleground, the abortion pill. The U.S. Attorney General saying states cannot ban the drugs, while some states are already trying to limit access to them. Joining us now is ABC News contributor Kate Shaw, professor of constitutional law at Cardozo Law School. Kate, thanks so much for being with us. After Friday's ruling, Attorney General Garland made a point of saying that states can't ban the abortion pill based on disagreement with the FDA's judgment and its safety and efficacy. That sounds like a qualified statement. Do states have legal grounds to ban the abortion pill?
Well, Janae, I think it's clear that the abortion pills, and that's a 2-pill sequence that's approved for terminating early pregnancies up to about 10 weeks, is going to be a very important part of the post-Roe landscape. So the FDA has approved these pills for terminating early pregnancies, and it has approved them being delivered by mail. But of course, some states are going to seek to prevent their citizens from obtaining those pills and using those pills by mail. In a word, it's unclear sort of what the legal status of the FDA's approval and its interaction with state attempts to ban these pills will look like in the courts. The idea is something called preemption. If there's a direct conflict between state and federal law is supposed to preempt the state law. And I presume the Federal Department of Justice will sue states if they seek to prohibit access to the abortion pills, claiming that the federal law basically supersedes the state law. Yeah. But the Supreme Court is going to have to weigh in on this. It's a complex body of law, and the Supreme Court is pretty hostile to abortion rights. And so I think it's anybody's guess how that legal dispute will play out in the U.S. Supreme Court.
Okay, and Planned Parenthood says that it's going to challenge the court to challenge Utah's trigger law. How likely is that to succeed?
What the United States Supreme Court decided in the Dobbs decision on Friday when it overturned Roe was that the federal Constitution doesn't protect a right to abortion. But it didn't say anything about what state constitutions say. And of course, every state has its own constitution. And so what Planned Parenthood is saying is the Utah Constitution protects a right to abortion, even if the federal Constitution doesn't. And the U.S. Supreme Court doesn't get to control what the Utah Constitution means. That's for Utah judges to decide. And this is a strategy abortion advocates have used in other states, even states like Kansas. Those courts have found that the state constitution protects a right to abortion, again, whatever the federal constitution is understood to do. And so that's, I think, where a lot of these legal fights are going to shift to state courts and state constitutions.
But it is certain that the fight is not over.
No.
So in layman terms is this: you help the federal government has decided that they're going to get Roe versus Wade. They're going to hand it all the decision over to the states, and that's fine now. You handed the decision over to the state. Can't come back and go, oh, well, Roe versus Wade is overturned. No. You handed the decision over to the states, and now it's up to the state to decide what they're going to do. And Anna was suggested at the beginning. They're going to create a realm. They're going to create a safe haven, a sanctuary where abortion, you can go and get an abortion in a safe environment.
Thomas Awan of the Seattle City Council has said that she will introduce legislation soon to make Seattle an abortion sanctuary city. So police can't pull you in for doing anything. No doctor, no patient, nothing. Yes.
I have some follow-up questions, and just because I don't know. Because if I understand, because I know Indiana's nothing but a copycat state, it just copies off of what Texas is doing. Isn't Texas still trying to make it like if a woman from Texas goes to California to get an abortion, she can be arrested? How the world can you do that? That makes no sense.
Well, see, here's my deal, though, Tracy.
They're gonna find out she's pregnant. They're gonna give her a pregnancy test before she leaves the
state.
That
was kind of throwing me when they even said that was How would you know? Like, seriously, how exactly are you even
Do you know how many women follow a pregnancy on an app? Do you know how many women follow their period on an app?
Yeah, you may want to get off that app then.
Yeah.
That's how they find out. But
Yeah.
how do
It's
you
data
tell me
sharing.
as a woman, oh, but couldn't they take up residence in that state?
And by the way, just to help you out, what about our privacy again? Let it
don't have
go,
it.
bro.
And
Let
then
it
my
go.
other
Get off the
question
app.
We don't have
Let
it.
it go. Let it go. You don't
Assuming
have
that-
it no more.
Yeah, assuming that California, Oregon, Washington, I'm going to say Illinois, New York, Vermont, all the states that where abortion is still legal and you can get the abortion, I don't want to call it the abortion pill because that seems like a bad name. What makes them think that one of those states couldn't just put it in the mail? Like what they're going to do, open somebody's mail? That's a federal offense.
Yes. What was he responding to?
I'm not messing with this. Trust her to make the right decision for her, and if she's wrong, Sky Daddy this big. I somehow don't think sex and reproduction are unbreakable link as possible results. That's all. Yeah. Women's rights have been taken away. This is horribly and terribly wrong.
Thank you, Parker.
And I even had somebody push back on it. Look, that's not taking away a woman's rights. It's taking away one of their rights to make a decision about
just
themselves.
Wants to go back to a time when it was illegal for him to marry his wife. Can we just say that?
People already
you just did.
Yeah, Atlanta, they are.
Like Canada don't exist and Mexico don't exist.
23 states have begun the process to ban abortion. 11 has laws that immediately went into effect. So half the country has made decisions without question ever being on the ballot. Well, and here's the deal, because they already had it written up. That was the point. As soon as that memo went out, the memo that shouldn't have went out and everything else, those states already written up the laws that as soon as it was banned, that law will go into effect.
But yet they'll cut SNAP benefits and say they're pro-life, and we'll just let them get away with it. Not we, us, but we, the public. Because she should have thought about that before she had sex.
I think arresting someone for going to another state is fear-mongering. I don't think it'll ever happen.
I do.
Here's my deal with that. I don't think it would happen. I know it's possible because it only takes one. It really only takes for them to catch one of them people.
You're putting a bounty on women. Think about some poor guys like, well, she got an abortion. I'll say she's pregnant, so I get my $10,000 or $5,000, whatever it is they get.
They overturn the HIPAA laws.
Thank you. That's the other thing they're going to do.
To report any women with a positive pregnancy test. Better go to Walmart, get that test.
Thank you. For real. Dollar Tree got them for $1.25. I'm just saying.
Not even going to ask you how you know that.
Because it's right there on the front counter.
I have never seen that in a Dollar Tree.
I see them all the time.
Really?
Do you know how creepy that is that Dollar Tree has a pregnancy test?
I'm just saying it's $1.25.
Anybody else need to find that kind of creepy?
All I'm saying is desperate times, like Phil Davis has said, calls for desperate measures. That's all I'm saying.
And a plan.
Do you even trust a Dollar Tree pregnancy test?
Hey, they got good toilet paper. I trust them. I'll be like, okay.
I have a strange feeling you're going to do a pregnancy test and you go test it out. They're going to say, man, you might be.
Hey, it done been many women that copy. Hey, I went to Dollar Tree and get this test. I'm pregnant. And they take 2 or 3 of them. They can buy more than one test.
Yeah. Fossey literally just asked me, do you know they steal those tests? Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, it's Dollar Tree.
I'm
just saying they're $1.25.
You talk about desperate times call for desperate measures, and you ain't got the money for it. Yeah, I can see you doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and get into this one. Planned Parenthood was formerly known as Project Negro, which has the intent of minimizing the Black community through abortions as they perceive the African American population as having low IQ. That is absolutely 100% correct. That's history. It should be known. Has absolutely nothing to do with the hell we talked about today.
Thank you.
Sorry, but it doesn't. That's not what it is today.
And the
It sucked that,
NAACP
it sucked that their foundation was that, and it really is terrible, but that's not what it is now.
And Marlon,
Mm.
the NAACP was founded by white people. So can we, just,
I mean,
I'm just saying,
the women's movement
was
was
started from,
founded by 2 black women. Didn't
Yep.
end that way. So, yeah, the Fourth Amendment privacy protection was removed at the same time they did this. They think ahead and they had to cut it. Oh, yeah.
Yep. It's okay if the police don't give you your Miranda rights, but you still have them, so shut up.
Yep, don't say
And-
nothing till you get a lawyer. Don't say,
Yep.
I don't care if it's
Just get a lawyer.
Shut
That's
up.
all you say.
Literally,
Shut up.
even
I
at the
want a
point
lawyer.
of, do you know why I pulled you over?
Cats eat their young too. That is true. Cats eat their young if they're deformed at birth, and rabbits do absorb their fetuses. That is absolutely true.
There are animals that will actually put one of their young out to sacrifice so that the rest of their young get away.
Yep.
Nature.
And Parker, I agree with you, but that and this right here is when I said this was a shot to poor and middle class America.
Yeah, 'cause
this
we
was
don't
not
get
a
the money
shot
to
to
go.
everybody because the rich is going to get it done if they have to get it done. That's
Exactly.
flat out. That's beyond a shadow of a doubt. If little Susie, whose family is worth millions or billions of dollars, and it's going to be detrimental to the way that you look at that family, oh yeah, they're going to get it done.
All the time.
They're not going to travel across several states. They're going to fly across several states. She's going to live in a nice little hotel room where nobody can find her. She's going to go into a private little vehicle or limousine, go to the place late at night because they done paid the doctor late at night so nobody can see her. It's going to get done.
Well, they're not going to go to another state. They're going to stay right in their state, go to a clinic for a couple of days, and come right back up. They're not going nowhere. They're not going to fly nowhere. Period. They're not.
They'll have pregnancy tests put on the lock and key. They can only... You're probably right.
But not at the Dollar Tree. They right out there, right at the register. I'm just saying they right there at the register.
So look next time.
Dog.
It is hard to find good toilet paper, though. I mean, seriously, it is. But they have the $1.25 pregnancy
I'm
test.
sorry, I can't trust a Dollar Tree pregnancy test.
They're selling at lower market value. It's the same pregnancy test that you would get at a drugstore. It's the same one. It's just the $1.25 as opposed to $8.25. Which one would you rather pay? $8.25
It's the
or
same
$1.25?
test.
It's the same test.
Yup.
Made by the same company. Made by the same. It's the same thing.
So there are 10 states in D.C. who are associated self-depleting illegal. I don't recall any of where people driving somewhere to get deleted or arrested for murder or whatever.
I don't even know what that means. My mind ain't working.
Assisted suicide, you mean?
Yeah.
It's legal where I live, and
yeah, that's one. I'm like, please don't ever ask me. No, please don't.
Oh,
just be honest.
Test
it is one of the hardest things you would ever go through. So,
thank you. They work. They the same pregnancy test, the same one. And here's the thing about
hey, Jonda, welcome back.
Oh, yeah, Jonda, I'm sorry. Hey.
Yeah, hello. Nice to meet you. But I was sharing on the Friday show that if they do this for birth control, I have a severe
and man, I appreciate it. We did catch up what you were saying. I appreciate it. So there are certain words and statements that can't be said in the S word. What do we say? Unalive. That's how they say it.
You're right. Unalive yourself.
Unalive yourself.
Yep.
Or get put on a T-shirt. I like that saying.
Yep.
Either you have a pregnancy hormone.
Yep, either you have it or you don't. But I was sharing with the audience Friday that I have a medical condition that when my monthly visitor arrives, I'm in severe pain where I'm in the hospital a week, maybe 2 weeks. If they make that illegal, I'm not going back to the hospital. Point blank and period. I'm not gonna suffer like I did for all of those years. No, I'm not gonna, no. And they just bypassed, like all of us that take birth control for non-pregnancy prevention purposes. It's like they didn't even think of it. Like, everybody don't take birth control just to prevent pregnancy. Most women do. But some of us, with no social life,
some of us take it for other reasons.
We taking it for medical reasons. Now we got to bring a doctor's note to get. Oh no, you must be joking. You must be joking.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and take our break so we can calm down and relax, because this is all week. No, I'm not gonna sit there because that's undermined it. This is what needs to be done. This is what needs to be done. This is what needs to be done. We need to just keep talking about it, formulating, instigating, and everything else. This is not something we can be silent on. And again, like I have said many a times, and Theas have said many a times, take the emotion out of it, say the facts, stick to the facts, keep fighting. This is not over. It's tiring. Trust me. I know it's tiring. But trust me, it's at this point in time, the only thing I'm mad about, and I told Anna too, but the only thing I'm mad about is I'm sick and tired of waiting till our backs is up against the wall before we start fighting back. Because one of these times, that wall ain't going to be there. You just going to fall.
Yeah.
So I'm sick and tired of waiting till our backs is up against the wall before you decide you want to do something about it, especially when they gave you the damn heads up.
Yep, they've been telling us, you got to give the Republican Party credit for that. They told us what we wanted they was going to do. We were just like,
So anyway, we're going to go ahead and take our first break. Please do not forget to hit that like button. I truly appreciate it. We literally hit double-digit views. We did hit double-digit views. Please hit that like button. I will truly appreciate it. The more likes we get, the more the algorithm on YouTube will suggest this video and many more to come. We do this every doggone weekend. At the very least, we do at least one show a weekend. It's very rare. Have I ever went a whole weekend without doing a show? Really? I have?
Yes.
I think once.
A New Edition concert.
Oh yeah, man, y'all gonna miss me on that
you
one.
Y'all,
no.
3 weeks. I was like, he gone. It's been a month since we did this show.
But we are double digit. Please do not forget to hit that like button. Go ahead and hit it now. It don't cost you absolutely nothing. Even if you don't like me, hit it anyway. You ain't got nothing better to do. We're gonna go ahead and take our 3-minute break, and we'll be back on the other side with Am I the A-hole? In which one is going to be a tearjerker. So, stay tuned.
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, finally, finally, might lose my spark. Living in this crazy time, putting back the pieces of my mind. I know how to run from the dark and fly. Feel my wings spread, levitate into the clouds. I'm so high above the ground. I'm rising. I'm soaring above it. It all. I just wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. I wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. Higher to a bird. You, I'm rising. I'm soaring above it. It all. I just wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free.
We are back to Radical Truth to Power. I'm going to answer this question real quick because didn't know where this is, so I can answer it really quick and then we can move on. So the question is Black trans life matter for transracial? In which Susan asks, what is transracial? Someone who lies about being another race. They pretend. Comma, I will explain it to you this way. They're not transracial, they're liars. Simple as that.
Oh, she talking about old girl, Rachel whatchamacallit.
Yeah, that's a liar. That's a liar. That's what they are.
Mhm.
They lie.
But some people I want to shut up.
They lie. No, okay. I want to make sure that was put out there. Can't get no more simple than that, but there you go. Okay. So before we even get started, let's pay the bills in this place. So please understand that next Saturday night is, well, I'm also selling my shirt, so you can go there to get the shirt, but that ain't what I meant to hit. Please do not forget to hit that like button. I truly appreciate it, everybody. Please do not forget to hit that subscribe button if this is the kind of content that you like. We picked up 2 more people last night from this show, from last night's show, so it is growing. Also, as Susan mentioned yesterday, is even after you see this show afterwards and everything, leave a comment. That affects the algorithm itself, too. Please go to Tracy Media LLC at Patreon to help support her for her cause. Please do not forget to go to Complex Mind at Patreon.com/Complex Mind. That is Theus's Patreon to help support him for all his causes. Please do not forget to go to Radical Truth to Power at Patreon to help me support my causes.
And spell it just like that.
Just like that.
Capitals and all.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, spelled just like that. Because
just like you see it.
I'm a good host. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And please go to Anna Hart's website for learning a whole bunch of stuff. And Anna, I have to also put your YouTube page up. So tell everybody what your YouTube page up and what's that all about too.
Okay. Totally put on the spot. Wasn't prepared for this. It is they will be straight from the heart, and that is when you will see my caregiver and I both on the screen talking, either asking questions about being chronically ill. The thing, my family, both my caregiver and I are chronically ill. My caregiver is my mother, and I had to move back at home when I was 23 years old. So we had to figure out how to live together as adults, how to still be friends at the end of the day, and how to take in a whole bunch of new scientific information just about every year. What I live with, Borrelia etc., as I call it, and the website's borrelia-etc.com, and it's Lyme disease, basically, and other tick-borne infections. There are not many people know that there are many infections inside of a single tick. The possibility of you from one bite getting multiple complex chronic illnesses is pretty high. So I didn't want any other family to have to go through the very slow learning curve that we had. I was 17 years old when I was bitten. This was my entire adult life. I got online the year 1999. And what we were being told back then, we are not being told anymore because science has advanced and we've learned better. So the YouTube site is anytime I want to talk, anytime my caregiver wants to talk, and just share stories about how we get through. And we will be sharing some stories about really, really personal things. So if you get squeamish, maybe it's not the right place for you, but if you want to learn, you are very welcome.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you putting yourself out there. This is the kind of environment that we're trying to build here. Uncomfortable conversations that need to be done. We have been pulling punches far too long in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Far too long. We're worried about somebody's feelings and their happiness and everything else while people suffering. I will make the vile promise that it's not going to happen on this show. We're going to have the comfortable, but if it's going to inspire, if it's going to help other people, we're going to have the uncomfortable conversations. Sorry, but not sorry. Every YouTube channel is not made for everybody, and I understand that. I really do. I understand it. But I'm just letting you know when it comes to this place, we're going to have the uncomfortable conversations. And if you get something out of it, cool. If it's not your cup of tea, again, cool. But am I the a-hole? I'm going to go ahead and do this one because I really was holding this off for Theas.
Oh.
But Theas is not on here. So Theas, I'm going to wait. I want you to let me, at the very least, let us know that you are listening because I don't want you to miss a single word of this next one. I really want you to I really want you to pay attention to this one.
Are you?
Yeah, it's Tracy's face is gonna be in her hand for about a good 5 minutes.
Uh-oh.
Anna's gonna roll her eyes in the back of her head. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those. So I ain't even gonna pop it up no more. Let's just get into it.
Married 15 years ago and almost didn't make it this far. In our second year of marriage, my wife went home when I was deployed and slept with some dickhead, who I'll refer to as dickhead from here out, who she was loose acquaintances with growing up. She hadn't seen him in years, but he just happened to show up during my daughter's birthday party because he was the son of one of my mother-in-law's old friends. Dickhead and my wife hooked up later that week after reconnecting. The reason I didn't kick my wife's butt to the curb and eventually forgave her is because she told me herself soon after I got home. And she didn't try to justify it with the, "Oh, well, you were gone. I felt lonely, blah, blah, blah." No, she actually said straight up that she was passionately hugging this moron. Her words, not mine, though I agree. And she felt so sick and disgusting for doing it. She immediately cut off all contact with Dickhead, and it took a lot of counseling and healing, but here we are today. Feels like nonstop since that time that my wife has gone above and beyond, proving that I was right to keep her. Well, my mother-in-law called yesterday, and she learned from Dickhead's mother that Dickhead died in some workplace accident, and they're having a funeral service this weekend. My wife told me this, and that she wanted to go. And it was like I got kicked right in the dick. I instantly felt nauseous and had effing horrible flashbacks of when she told me about her affair. All these horrible feelings resurfaced along with the sucky memories of me crying my effing eyes out and my image of her shattering. The pain felt as fresh as when she dropped that bomb on me. I asked her why, seeing as she hadn't talked to the guy in over a decade, not to mention, she passionately hugged him while we were married. She keeps saying stuff like, "It's the right thing to do," and "she just wants to pay respects." I can't stop repeating that I'm so hurt with that decision, as he's had no part in her life in so long, and I'm reliving all those sucky nights I was sure our family would be shattered, and I would only see my daughter 50% of the time. After some back and forth, I put my effing foot down and told her no, she cannot go. I said it's so disrespectful to me and our marriage, and we've been on silent treatment since then. Am I the butthole?
Oh, why aren't you going and like tap dancing at his funeral?
I wanted to say the same thing, but I don't really sound Christian. That don't sound right. That don't sound right. And how he gonna tell her something? When did she become his daughter again? I wonder. And he's got to ask, is he the a-hole? Yes. And so is she for cheating, I mean. And wanted to go to his funeral. Well, yeah, she is. And they both are. That's my final answer. They both are. And he gonna tell her, "Oh, you can't go." Oh, really? And you're my father, Floyd. Okay, let's see how well that works.
Well, I didn't expect this answer. Look, and it's already done started. Keep her. You an a-hole just saying that. Oh my goodness.
He make it sound like, yes, forgiveness is important. I've always said forgiveness is important.
Mm-hmm.
But if you keep bringing it up, obviously he has not forgiven. Obviously he still needs to.
He didn't bring it up until the dude died, and she wants to go to the funeral.
But it doesn't just resurface like that. He hasn't forgiven. Because if he had, he'd been like, okay, I can see why you want to go, but I'm going with you. I'm going to go with you.
Okay.
Keep her. Like
she
she's property.
Say it from a
like
man's
he owned
point of
her.
view. I'm going to say it
Abraham
from a man's
Lincoln
point of
freed
view.
the slaves. I don't know what he talking about.
I'm taking it from a man's point of view. Then apparently, since I'm the only man on here, and I'm
That is
defending.
not a man. That man is a
No, no,
neo-Nazi,
no. You
narcissistic.
cheated on me.
He should
We've
have
been
divorced her.
flipping about how I said this and how I said it on that and all this other stuff. After you don't disrespect me, now you want to turn around because of word association. And you don't lost your ever loving doggone mind. At this point in time, I don't give a damn how you take what I just said. You the one that screwed somebody else,
How
not
you
me.
gonna tell your wife?
Let
Let me ask you this.
I didn't tell my wife to
the,
go screw somebody either if she did it.
But when's the last time you told your wife no? That
If
she
this
couldn't do
situation
something?
came up.
No, I'm saying when is the
No.
last time you told her that she couldn't do something? Any situation.
I would tell her no on situations that
No,
affect-
I didn't. That was not my question.
I'm asking you. I'm answering you. The only time I said no to Foxy is when it affected me. If it's something that she wants to do, then that's fine. If it affects me and it affects my marriage, then yes, I'm going to say no. Really easily.
I want to be there when you tell her that, and then she cusses you clean out. I just want to be there. Can you put a camera so I can be there?
It ain't got nothing to do with it. See, here's the deal, Tracy. This is the funny thing about this argument right here. You don't pretty much figure once you done got married, no damn body can say no to you on absolutely nothing because they got to be your daddy.
No, but he can't.
Hey,
tell
can
her,
I go screw another man? No. How you dare you tell me no? You ain't my daddy.
He still can't tell her that. She should have known to be faithful to that marriage vow when she took it. Obviously, I'm not going to say she's not the a-hole. She's definitely a-hole for cheating. She's definitely a-hole for wanting to go to his funeral. But
that's what I'm saying right there. You should have just
I'll
tell you what, you're about to get it now. If you go to that funeral, don't come back.
What he should have said was, my preference is that you don't go because it hurts. But if you go, hey, that's on you. I'm not going to tell you nothing because you a grown woman. Hello?
This is the funny thing, Tracy. Just don't go into a rant. Don't go into a rant. Just give me one or two word answers. Why do you want it said like that?
He's not her daddy. And she's not his mother.
Okay. Disrespectful.
I didn't say she wasn't being disrespectful.
No. I said he would be disrespectful by telling him.
He was disrespectful for putting his foot down. Well, what the heck? No, you
disrespecting this whole entire marriage.
She started
by going to that funeral, and the only thing that you upset about is how I said something.
He could have said, I prefer you not go. That brings up too many memories. But no.
Chanda is terrible.
I wouldn't either, but I'm just saying, him putting his foot down? Oh, nah, dude. He lost it with me.
You're literally concentrating, and Susan literally concentrating on wording. The wording is not going to damage this marriage.
Yes,
you going to a funeral of a dude you just screwed because you want to show respect is going to damage the marriage.
No, she did that when she cheated.
Pay respect. You disrespect the marriage. Smooth.
He put his foot down, and she need to put her foot. Shut up, Tracy. I'm gonna just shut up. Shut up.
He put his foot down, and you ain't going to that funeral.
And now, I would have went. That would have made
you can put one foot in front of the other and keep walking out that door. You can keep going.
Opening up a. I'm not disagreeing with her wanting to go to the funeral is a good thing. I think it's a bad thing.
Wifey is done for even.
Yeah, she done for telling. I just would have went.
It's a clown for mentioning.
I just would have went. I was like, oh well.
Jess, I didn't even think about that. I really didn't think about that, but thank you. Mama, why the hell are you telling me? Like, why would I even want to know this dude dead? I don't care. The dude that just screwed my wife.
Because she wanted to tell him that it was finally over and there was no chance that she was ever going to go back with him.
Oh, good gracious.
He said put his foot down.
Tracy, that makes no sense. Go
I
with
don't
her,
care if
nah,
it
F
doesn't make
her.
sense to you.
That's what I'm saying. You just playing words. That's all you
Words have
doing.
meaning,
You should
and
have said, man,
words have
no.
feelings. Words
Nah,
have
nah.
meaning.
You can go if you want to, but so
Oh,
can I if you want to.
hey,
Exactly.
he should have filed for divorce then. Oh well, it was his dumb fault for taking.
Because all you want, what makes that woman so special? She can't hear no. Exactly. Exactly. You're going to affect me. You're affecting me. You're going to a funeral of a man that you screwed over and you want to play about words? Are you serious right now? No, I dare you say no.
I wish
How dare you screw the other dude?
Obviously, he's not over it because all them old feelings came back.
You don't get over stuff like that, Tracy. You learn to live with it, but you don't get over it.
He was wrong for saying he put his foot down, and she should have put her foot right. Well,
She should have put her foot back down. You still screwed somebody. This ain't equal. You trying to make it equal. It ain't equal. You still screw somebody else. This ain't equal. No. He has no right to give her orders.
Thank you.
Equal marriage.
Thank you.
Man, y'all can miss me.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Susan.
Right.
You can understand me. Thank you.
All right, I you know what? I apologize for saying what I said. You can go to the funeral if you want to. I have no right to tell you what I want to do. And then when you come home and you find that all my shit gone, don't ask me. I'm going to sit there and look at you and go, you want to play words? I want to play words too. Well, you lied. Nope, I'm just using words.
He didn't say, no, what he should have said was
Kamala, he finds this on Reddit and on the internet. And so
no, they probably sometimes that do happen. People be going.
What has
but
I think this was a real story. Yeah, I don't think it was a hypothetical.
Kamala or Kamala, please stand by because I do have a part of the show where I go real or nah, because I done had several people that sit there and go, man, that ain't happened. That's some bull crap story right there. So I do have a section, but this right now on face value is a real story. On face value.
Why is she in the military?
See, once again, taking it too far. What's good is it's gonna go pay respect. He dead, done, gone.
I'm not saying that's not the right approach, but he could have used a whole other way of saying, hey, I feel that's disrespectful.
I could be a grown man for doing anything. However, the husband
he could express how he feels. I didn't say he couldn't. Yeah. I did not say he couldn't say, hey, that's hurtful. You want to go with this man who you cheated on with. You was the one that cheated. I never said that. I just had a problem with foot. Okay, Tracy, if I'm married and we're getting by financially.
And my husband says he's going to buy a $75 luxury car, do I have the right to put my foot down and say no?
You do, but I mean, technically you do.
Man, you know what?
Technically you do.
But technically he didn't?
I didn't say he couldn't say he wanted her to go to the funeral. I never said that. What I had a problem with is him for
don't worry.
Marlon,
that's not what she said. She said she would have been honest about his feelings. It's his feelings she didn't respect.
Not his authority. Thank you.
I don't give a again. Y'all misconstrue what I'm saying here.
Thank you, Susan.
You screwed another dude.
But he could have said, it hurts me that you want to go to this man's funeral who you slept with. He could have legitimately said that, and she'd been like, you know what, you're right. I have no problem with that. But when he took it to the...
And we all know that we think it right through and we're upset. All of our words.
Nah.
Thank you. You're adamant about the man putting his foot down, but a lot easier on a woman putting her foot down. Thank you.
No,
appreciate
wrong.
it. Thank you.
No,
thank you.
No, y'all wrong. Susan and me got this. We right. Y'all just the rest of y'all just
nah. The fact is, she asked if she could go means that she already knows how he feels.
I don't know why she told him. I mean, to be basically honest.
Man, you know what, Tracy? Whatever. I'm
I
done.
never said it
The,
was good
the
for her to
woman,
go
the
to the
woman, you can't say no to a
No.
woman, but you could darn well say no to a man.
I didn't say
You
that.
gotta,
I
you
said
gotta
he
find,
could
you
have
got to find the
expressed how he
correct
was feeling.
sentence and the
Nope.
correct tone.
Nope.
I'm sorry, dear. Could I humbly and respectfully hold some type of conversation? Am I
Nope.
talking too loud? Because I don't mean to talk too loud. Let me lower my
You are
tone a little bit. I
misconstruing
apologize.
everything that I'm saying. All I'm saying was he could have said, hey, I feel like you're disrespecting me by wanting to go to this man's funeral whom you cheated with. You the one cheated with, not me. Don't go. That's my preference. I can't make you do nothing. You want to go, you can go.
Woman hates her husband.
What I say to that, Jess? This woman hates her husband.
She does. Now that's clear.
What I say to that, Jess, and this is what gets me is, I want to go to show respect. Let's carry that sentence out. I want to go to the funeral to show respect to the man I screwed you over with. Because that's all this
If
is.
he had said that and left out the I'm putting my foot down part, I'd have been all right with it.
Woman tried this. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work.
It's logic. Y'all just don't get it. That's all.
Y'all make it No, I'm not. You are going to show respect to a man that you screwed while I was deployed.
But why not
What
just
did I
say
miss?
that? We are not saying it was good for her to want to go to this funeral. That's messed up.
Marriage is an intimate bond between a couple and is not to be shared between another person. The vows you agreed during the marriage ceremony is something you should follow through on. And she didn't.
And she didn't. So he should have divorced her behind. If he all that mad.
Thank you, Steve.
He dropped the I'm putting my foot down part. That's what got me.
No.
I'm sorry. That just got me. I'm like, no, you're not gonna put your foot nowhere, bro.
Still gonna be a no. All right, we're gonna move on. I'm gonna go ahead and imply that I felt this twice. That's all I'm gonna say.
My wife Elise 12 years ago. She has a 16-year-old daughter, Anna, from her previous relationship, and we have a 7-year-old son as well. From pretty much the beginning of our relationship, Anna and I have never gotten along. I don't know how to emphasize that this is not because of a lack of trying. She just doesn't like me. When she was young, she was scared of me and afraid that I'd tear their family apart. Nowadays, it's more of a neutral dislike rather than strong antipathy, so I suppose that's progress. Elise is a stay-at-home mother, so she relies on me for income. As a result, I pay for everything for Anna. Food, clothes, volleyball fees, field trips. I take an interest in her hobbies. I go to her games. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I try my damn hardest to be the best stepfather that I can. But it's so hard. She's always giving me curt, one-word responses. She's always giving me an attitude. She does things to get a rise out of me. Staying out late, reeking of booze. Always trying to sneak boys in. Typical rebellious stuff. But I always let her know that I love her and that I'm there for her in hopes that her douchebag teenager phase passes. The opposite is true for her biological father. She adores him. I can't tell you why. He never goes to her games and always makes excuses for why he doesn't want to see her. He forgot her birthday last month and she cried herself to sleep. Well, anyways, on Friday, I came to her room to check her phone and read her messages. This isn't a permanent thing, but she's been caught sneaking out twice in the last month, so this is her punishment. I asked for her phone and she says, "No, I'm tired of you checking my stuff. Leave me alone." I tell her I'm not asking again and she goes, "Just F off already. You're not my real dad. You never have been. Stop acting like you can tell me what to do." Before getting up and slamming the door. Like I said, guys, I'm tired. Tired of the blatant disrespect. Of being the verbal punching bag while still providing more for her than anyone else in her family. We haven't really talked since until this morning's breakfast. She asked if I could pay for her plane ticket so she could see her boyfriend across state. Like I said, her mom doesn't work and her dad is a piece of garbage, so normally I would be the one to cough up the money, but not this time. I responded, "Go ask your real dad." I could tell she was hurt. Tears swelled up from her face and she excused herself from the table. My wife took me aside later and said that my comment was extremely disrespectful. I said if anything's disrespectful, it's her treating me like a doormat and a credit card. And I will no longer tolerate this treatment in my own house. I told her we don't have to be friends, but if she can't at least be cordial to me or respect my position as an authority figure, she can find someone else to pay for her non-essentials. Am I the butthole?
Ooh, this is hard.
Say again, Tracy.
This is a hard one. This is a hard one. And let me tell you why. Because when my parents got divorced, my mother basically dated a dude that me and my siblings, we did not like that. We didn't like him. We was like, we hope we gonna break y'all up. We gonna do everything we can. I see both sides of this one. This one is hitting a little bit too close to home.
Did you then go and ask the person you didn't like for a plane ticket?
Oh no, I wasn't that dumb. Because he basically wasn't working. I'm like, you leeching off my mama. What you doing?
Anna?
Oh, he had 9 kids, but hey, whatever. Yeah, he had 9 children.
Jeepers.
Hey.
I'm like, my mother's only got 3, and they by the same person. You got 9. Like 5 different women. Sorry. You got
Anna, let me read this before I get to you. Kids are always going to love their biological parents no matter how much the step parent does. Kids will run away from a simply perfect situation to go back to their real parent.
She already had her real parent, her mother.
And the mother, and this is, no, I'm sorry, Anna, go ahead. Go ahead.
Just this guy was not the asshole. No. He's doing more than he needs to be. It's the daughter who needs to check herself.
No, she needs to be checked. Her mama and her dad need to be like, look, hey, he living there, he paying all your bills, girl. Whenever you get 18, you do what you want to do, but when you under this roof,
And this is
like this.
And this is the deal. This is why I took a small offense to it.
But did he have to say real dad? That was
I'll tell you at the end, and because I can tell you why he said what he said.
I mean, because she said she was enamored towards her.
I can tell you why he said what he said, but I'm gonna tell you at the end because there's a second video. I don't like the way the stepfather handled it, but he did need to let her know that she couldn't be that disrespectful.
Yeah, he didn't have to go to the dad card. Ooh, that one hurt.
Yeah, thing is, I had the door hinges cut off her phone and work and all. Allowed my wife sat aside. I'm gonna put it to you this way. This is what.
What an a-hole is. Wait a minute. She is the more petty than I am. Dang.
This is the deal. This is what hurt me a little more is 0.5 fuckery for the father for what he said. I understood what he said, but this is the part where you got to pull away. Now, here's something I have never done on this show. So this is a first. And now I'm going to take away the 0.5 fuckery. Only because of the wife pulling him aside and going, well, that's disrespectful. And I'm thinking, woman, where the hell have you been? This whole time you've been disrespecting me.
Mm-hmm.
Now you point out what I did. See, this is one of those things where it hits home for the simple fact that that certain people have that you get a certain age. And because you get a certain age, you need to let things roll off your back. Because you at a certain age now, and you shouldn't let it affect you and all this other stuff. So I feel that's what the wife was doing. Like, oh, that was pretty bad what you said. She's just a kid. Again, you're pretending that this incident that happened in the kitchen and forgetting everything that happened beforehand.
Because that's her daughter.
Because you're trying to concentrate on just this situation. I don't like that pull to the side thing. I really don't. I understand stepdads having hurt feelings and sometimes because he's human. However, this comment to her
was childish.
I'm sure he lashed out at anger, but you are. I should have read that message before I said what I said. Because that's what I mean is I don't want it to get to the effect of you're the older one. You should watch what you say. Again, we're not talking about this situation right here that happened at this kitchen this morning. We're talking about this pile of stuff that happened in the past and it accumulated at this table right here.
Yeah, can I say that the mother is the a-hole because she let her daughter
I'm gonna give her 2.5.
The first time that the daughter was disrespectful, she should have checked her right then and be like, no, you're gonna respect this man. No, he's not your father, but you're gonna treat him like one.
And Tracy, I'm gonna push back on one little thing that you said. You don't have to treat him like a father. You're gonna respect him.
You're gonna respect him.
You just have to be respectful. You don't have
You're
to
living under his roof.
Yeah.
Yeah, she should have checked. Yeah, she's the a-hole. I don't think the child is because the mother never put her in check. I hate to blame the woman, but she's the a-hole. The father, he kind of is for saying, go your real father. That was childish. Yeah. But sometimes, Susan, you say stuff, and boy, you show hot when you say it, and you be like, dang, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably did. So we're going to move on to the next video. And again, like I said, I felt this two ways.
Posted an update. Hey guys, it's been a good 2 weeks since I posted, and I figured you guys would like an update. A lot's happened since the last time I posted. So that night, I did what many of the comments suggested I do, which was to apologize. I told her that I'm sorry that I implied that I'm not a real father, but like it or not, that I consider her my daughter, that I loved her and I'll always be there for her. She started to cry and sob uncontrollably and said, "Why doesn't my real dad love me?" I held her and told her that she didn't need to fight for his approval. I also apologized for looking through her phone, that I've come to accept that it's not an appropriate punishment for a teenage girl, and I was going to find other alternatives. Lastly, I brought up therapy, and while she was hesitant at first, I let her know that it was nothing to be ashamed of, that everything she said at therapy would be entirely confidential, and that it could help to have a confidant to help her sort through her feelings. She sat on that for a day, and the next day she let me know that she was ready, so I set up the earliest appointment. It's only been a week, so I don't want to get too optimistic, but honestly, I feel like I'm noticing an improvement already. She's actually been engaging back in small talk when normally she wouldn't give me the time of day. She's been following all the rules, coming home at a reasonable hour. She's been less withdrawn and more social, even to the point where her brother commented on the change today. But the most exciting news of all is when getting out of the car on her way home from therapy, she said, and I quote, "Thanks, Dad." She's never called me dad before, so honestly, I've been riding off that high for the last 2 hours. I'm not delusional enough to think that everything's peachy, but honestly, the behavior change in the last week was the most progress we've had since, well, ever. I'm cautiously optimistic going forward. Thanks again for your comments, everyone, especially the ones that gave me the kick in the butt that I need.
For him.
And I really mean that.
That hit.
But that's what it was. That's why she was acting a fool in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just went real street with that.
I'm glad it worked out for everyone. Or is working out so far.
How old is this girl is a very important part of the conversation that I missed. She was a teenager?
Teenager?
Yeah.
I'm guessing 13 or 14. She can't be 16 or 17 because she could have been moved out.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize too. I showed full circle of what accountability looked like. 3 doors that never had to deal with this stuff. Mm-hmm. I think she's 16.
16. Okay.
16.
Oh.
This is what I felt being married and taking on 4-step kids. Both of the way. In both ways. I felt that they was happy that their mother was happy. But that's about as far as it went. And I did what this father did. I went to my daughter's soccer game. I went to my son's plays. I was always there. I always paid for everything, along with my wife, because it was a 2-income household. And I put my money out there and everything else, and I treated them the best they can, and they treated me like crap. Now, my daughter, when she hugs me, feels like that she's giving me a bear hug that I can barely breathe. They now calling me Pops. I got to walk my daughter down on her wedding. So it was worth it.
Ain't these onions.
I'm not even going to remotely pretend that I was perfect. I'm not even going to lie to you. You're talking to somebody who went from one child, got married, and wound up with 5 kids in a span of a wedding, however long a wedding is. And I look back on those days, and I don't regret absolutely anything that I did because I got the results that I got now. I got kids right now who, what do you want for Father's Day? What do you want for your birthday? What do you blah, 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 blah? What do you want this? What do you want? Blah, 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 blah. I got kids who on Facebook are literally saying it went from, on Father's Day going, I'm going to give thanks to my stepdad for always being there for me. And as time goes on, it turns to, I'm going to give thanks to my daddy with my name afterwards. I feel what this dude went through. So if he even remotely comes across this video, it's worth it. I have never been more prouder of the achievements that my children have done, and I can be naive enough to hope that I had something to do with it.
Why are you trying to make us cry? Really? Stop that.
I'm not trying to make nobody
Yes, you
cry.
doing a good. I'm like, dang, I don't cry. I don't
I'm
cry.
not trying to make anybody cry.
But you really see, I'm like, nah, I'm no.
It is
These
just,
dang on onions, dang.
it's a really, really good feeling.
But this is why I won't date a man that has children. I can't.
Oh, jeebus.
I asked my stepfather to adopt me when I moved back in because he was the one who was there coming to procedures, would never let me be alone in the hospital. He was the one who was my dad. And so we just had a little private ceremony that sealed it between us. The stepdads are wonderful.
Sit here and cry. Stop this. Stop this. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
But it takes work. It does.
It takes work.
Y'all not hearing nothing I'm saying. I'm asking
No,
y'all
not
to
really.
stop. And y'all just keep on. Just keep pouring them in here.
Not really. Thank you, Marlon, for making it real.
It's just trying me today.
Yeah. Real or nah? Okay, here's the deal. The only reason, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell you off the bat the answer. Okay, so that way we got to go through. I'm gonna tell you off the bat the reason why I think nah. Only reason is because of the timing. I'm not even gonna tell you what I'm talking about. I just want you to pay attention of the timing. I've been working since 15 years old. I ain't never seen this happen. Just concentrate on the timing of the whole thing.
I was working for a decent-sized family company that had internally promoted a manager from a different department to run a sizable branch for the company. He was warned about a particular employee who was known to cause trouble and was generally very contentious. I'll call her Karen. Karen worked inside sales and was a notorious gossip who loved to spread rumors regardless of their validity. She also made several younger male coworkers uncomfortable with her rather aggressive advances. At best, she was okay at her job, but generally made the workplace less than stellar. Karen also had a reputation for annually seeking raises from the prior manager by resigning. This was usually met with some form of concession just to placate her and keep her. The new manager happened to hear the story and was well aware of her tactics. So, to Karen's routine, she walked into a new, inexperienced manager with the news that she simply wasn't going to be able to work there anymore. Unfazed, he immediately reacted with sincere regret that they would not get to work with each other professionally. Karen's confidence immediately shifted to fear. She floundered out a sentence about how she wasn't making what she needed to make, to which the manager totally agreed with her, and again gave her his best wishes in her next opportunity. He then stood and said he would need something formal written up for HR, but she could do it any time that day. Wasting no time, he immediately sent a glowing note to the staff about losing a true asset to the department. He also invited everybody to a going-away party in the kitchen that afternoon. So at the party, Karen was a woman walking and interacting with guests at her own funeral. I imagine she was wondering how she would go home to her husband and explain that she had quit her job that morning. Fortunately for all, she was far too prideful to admit that it was all a tactic. And that was Karen's last day with the company. Afterwards, the branch ran fairly smoothly. It turns out that she was indeed mediocre, and her customers were more than happy to have a fresh rep on their account.
Oh, this is real.
No.
This is real.
Oh.
This is
Got it
absolutely. This is real. This is real. You just changed Karen's name to Ken. Oh, this is real. All the way real. I absolutely believe this.
I'm gonna tell you why I think it's fake. First of all, well, no, it ain't even first of all. Like I said, I wanted everybody to pay attention to the timing of the situation. And the timing was, and he sent out a glowing recommendation, and we're going to send you a farewell and all this other stuff. Like, okay, so y'all don't do 2 weeks notices. You just quit on the spot, and we're going to give you a farewell this afternoon.
No, he was calling her bluff. He was like, okay, you want to do that quick stuff? Okay, fine.
That's great. But I'm just sitting there saying, where did the party come from that afternoon? Like,
you can get a party
You
record
can.
just that quick. You bring the chips, you bring the punch, I bring the cups. Here we go. And nobody said it had to be real food there. Just a little piece of cake and some chips. Bye, Karen. See you later, Karen. Real.
And this woman
real.
got one time, because ain't nobody's pride that doggone big. I done had some prideful people. Ain't nobody's pride that big, because once I'm walking through the party going, oh, this fool really think I'm finna leave.
I don't know why
Oh,
they
never mind, I'll change my mind. I ain't no, you gonna just keep rolling through this.
Only thing that kind of made me question if it was real was her sexually harassing the male employees. Like, how she get away with that? Like, did they enjoy it? No. Karen.
Every person that acts like this winds up being a Karen or a Ken.
Yep.
Pretty sure her name ain't Karen.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was a born manager. That's exactly how I manage more than a few. I just can't see something moving it. Boy, no, they do is it.
They exist.
Mm-hmm.
People, it is so easy to organize an office party in an afternoon. You know they got chips in the cupboard. They got punch in the refrigerator. Nobody said it had to be elaborate. You go out and get to Subway sub and get some sandwiches and say goodbye to Karen. Real. This is real. Always real. I don't even question it. No question. It's real. Except for her sexually harassing the male employees. That part, I'm like, y'all gonna just let her get away with that?
I think this was real, but the offer exaggerated the event. I agree with Marlon that the timing of everything makes it suspicious. I thought the offer wanted to make it sound
You can
more
get an
good.
office party. I'm telling you, within
I ain't
hours.
never seen no office party put together
Hours.
in the morning, by the way, for it to happen in the afternoon.
Hours. It don't. If it's a small company too, that ain't nothing.
All right, we're gonna move on to this next one. I'm not even gonna tell you what I think, because I've been wrong before. I'm gonna tell you no, I ain't even gonna do that. Man, this is a bunch of crap. I'm just telling you, this is one huge bunch of crap. So, but I've been wrong before, so let's go on and get to it.
Not sure if this is the right sub or not, but this is the tale about how I got hired and promoted in a 2-hour period. So I'm a Kiwi, New Zealander, and was on my overseas experience in London. I was wandering the street and this guy was struggling with a pallet of beer, trying to get into a music venue. So being the nice guy I am, I asked if he needed a hand. I don't know how far this guy had been hauling these beers, but it must have been a very long way because he was sweating. So we get these beers into this empty venue and he asked me to help set up the bar, pointing out where he wants things set up. I think he just assumed I worked for him, but I'm 19 and hate confrontation, so I just say, yeah, sure. So I start putting the beers in the fridge and he says, I'm off to take a shower. Keep up the good work. So I've known you all of 20 minutes and you're trusting me, unsupervised, with your bar/venue? Not what I signed up for when I offered to help you, but I have nothing planned, so F it. I guess I work here now. So I keep setting up the bar for the show that night and the bar staff starts showing up. They must have been temps and been used to staff changes because they just assumed that I was the bar manager because I was the only person in the place. So they introduce themselves and ask what they can do. Luckily, I'd worked in a bar before, so I start delegating. All this time, the owner is nowhere to be seen, but I'm enjoying my new manager role and just bemused by the whole situation. Finally, an hour since he left, he comes back and something must have clicked while he was away because he came up to me and said, "You're not one of my staff, are you?" "Nah, mate." "Why did you help me? You looked like you needed a hand with a pallet of beer." We had a bit of a laugh and he asked, "Do you like the specials? They're playing tonight and it's sold out, so stick around and enjoy." Oh, and he turns around to the actual bar staff. "This guy drinks for free tonight. I love the specials and I love beer."
Boy, that sounds like a sitcom situation to me.
Thank you. Because I want one person to sit there and go, "Oh, that's possible. It could happen." This dude no, let me put it to you
He didn't
this
actually
way.
get promoted per se.
He got hired simply by asking, "Do you need help?" Then you go into the venue. This guy who don't even know your name, by the way, because that was never said in the story. He never introduced them to the manager. He just said, "Do you need some help?" "Okay, we're going to roll up here. We're going to put the stuff on." "Okay, go ahead and put the beer up in there. I'm going to go ahead and take a shower."
Mm-hmm.
We ain't even going to question where he went and took a shower at.
Must have been home.
Just go pretend. He was going an hour with Tracy, so I'm thinking that he went home. He had to.
I mean, the showers overseas, they smell. Okay. And they don't really be taking showers that long over there.
Oh, he was going an hour.
I don't think showering was all he was doing, but hey, that's just me.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I'm just saying. He probably had a snack, took a nap, and then took a shower. I'm not saying he didn't shower, but it don't take no hour.
Good night, Thiz.
Yes.
We'll see you Friday.
Good night.
LOL is I guess I work here now. The crap.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Because all you.
That never happens.
Your whole interview for the whole job was, "Do you need help?"
Mm-hmm.
That was the interview. Night is, I worked at a bar before, but
No, but they can drink alcohol. No, that part, they can drink alcohol younger than we can in the United States. So that part is
yeah, you
illegal.
start drinking at
Canada,
New Zealand, England, London.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, D.
What's up, D?
They start at 19.
I don't know how old you have to be to sell alcohol in New Zealand.
I'm assuming it's not 21.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, just the fact that you got hired,
Mm-hmm.
all this other stuff simply because you said, "Do you need help?" Okay, now you're hired. Can you put this stuff up? I'm finna leave this venue and all this alcohol in your hands.
Mm-hmm.
These people come in and, oh, great. They don't know who you are because they always have temps. But here's my thing that got me the most was the guy turned around and go, "Wait a minute, you don't work here."
Yeah, you just now figured that out?
No, Tracy, I got a better one for you. How you just figured that out? Because you never said he all of a sudden looked at him or something like, no, he turned around and said, "You don't work here, do you?" What triggered that for you to come up with that logic?
Yeah, I don't believe no parts of this.
There you go.
This one just First one I believe. This one, this don't make no sense.
No.
That's what I'm saying. That's what threw me. It was 15 here, not too long ago. Age of consent. Man, I wouldn't want a 15-year-old drinking.
Serving me drinks. I mean, not that I drink alcohol, but I'm just saying.
Nah, I'm good with the age that we got now. Nah, 15.
No, it should be 18. If you old enough to die in a war, come on, for real.
Yeah, I agree.
If you can technically die in a war,
that's the funny thing about it. You could join the military at 18 and you still can't drink while you're in the military.
Still can't, and you're sitting there literally putting your life on the line for your country, but you can't drink or smoke a cigarette because cigarettes are now 21 also.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
that was under Trump, but they be blaming Obama. I'm like, y'all know Trump's the one that signed that, right?
I thought it was 18.
21.
Oh, I'm glad I got my cigars as quick as I did then.
But we're nowhere near no 24. You know,
Good night, Foxy.
Good night.
Night night.
Have a good sleep.
And all the other employees have been clueless. Tim, this guy was doing the job. I'm not going.
Did they pay him for his work? That's what I want to know. That free concert, blue, who cares? Pay me for my time.
He did. He got a free concert and all the
No, I mean with lucre, with money, with some currency.
That's all you're going to get.
Foxy. Still publishing.
Foxy's videos of the week. Parker, I saw your question on there. I'm going to answer it at the end of the show because we're almost out of time here. So I didn't even know how to title this, so I just titled it as what, because if y'all remember the one from yesterday, no, this woman wins for the week.
What I heard from a very good military friend of mine, and I'm ashamed to say this because I am Italian, okay? The Pope and his Leonardo satellites up in space. If you remember when Mr. Trump first got in, he launched SpaceX and Space Age up there, and he put the biggest satellite up there. Well, it caught all the votes that were pinged up from him and sent back to Earth for Biden. They got all that. They got it all.
What? Where's this information from? They're sending votes to space?
They sent the votes to Italy and Berlin.
For what?
Well, they shot them up there, and then they brought them back as Biden's.
Why are they sending votes up to satellites?
Because they had to do it some way that wasn't so suspicious. But he caught them in the act. And here's what I want you to
mention this in this speech. He's going to talk about the satellites and the votes.
He won't do that. This is a secret.
What? People want drugs legalized? I want y'all to look at that video. I want y'all to look at that video. What the heck was she talking? Votes is...
My favorite thing at the end, he ain't gonna talk about it.
It's
private. It's a secret.
It's a secret.
It's about the election. How the hell did you know about it then, if it was a secret?
They're zapping the votes in space and sending them back down for Biden. Look, Joe Biden is not my favorite person. I've made that abundantly clear. Lady, what? What?
Wow.
Mickey, I'm ashamed for you. They sent the...
Really? This is the first I've heard. And by the way, can somebody explain this to me?
They sent the votes up to space and then sent them back down for Biden.
She said the Vatican and the Pope and their satellites.
Yep, she called them the Leonardo satellites.
The Leonardo satellites. Okay. Okay, let's leave it at that. Let's leave it at that. Can somebody explain to me what the hell the rest of it had to do with the Vatican and the Pope?
So she's saying that they sent them to the Pope satellites. I'm assuming that's what
No,
she's
you said
saying.
they sent it to the Trump. Oh, the votes were sent up to the Vatican satellite.
But when Trump's satellites intercepted,
caught it.
But then is she saying that the Trump satellite sent the votes back for Biden?
No, I think you had it. I think she was
I think you're right.
The votes were sent out to space. It is supposed to go to the Vatican and the Pope satellites, but the Trump satellites intercepted it.
But how did they get back down to Earth with Biden as a vote? You see where my question's going? It would make more sense. Not that this literally makes any sense. If
she gets a crown for this one.
Yeah, she does. If she were saying, hey,
God, I hope you kidding.
Please say you kidding, because the moon is right there. We see it. But
that's one hell of a damn hologram.
Sure is. We all fool. We like.
That's the greatest hologram I've ever seen in my life.
Is she saying that the satellites, if the votes went up Trump, but the Vatican caught those votes and then sent them down for Biden? That's the only thing that's the only thing I can think she was. I don't really know what she was saying. That's the problem. I'm trying to interpret this lady, and I feel like my intelligence just dropped from trying to interpret that foolishness that oh goodness. The vote, if Trump has his own satellite, why didn't his satellite intercept? Oh gosh, I'm sitting there thinking about it. Oh,
I'm just laughing at the fact that this Trump has gone around the country talking about the conspiracy.
But he did say that the votes were found in the river. Like
found
you can read
in the river. The suitcase was pulled out from under the table. Vote dump and everything else. But you decided this situation was a secret.
And yet she knew about it.
But you knew.
Like, what, did Trump call her and tell her?
And my favorite part is, where are you getting this information from?
Out of her own head, because I ain't heard that one. I mean, I heard Trump say
but she got this ridiculous conspiracy theory. This was really a conspiracy theory?
This wasn't theory. She was trying to joke us, right? She's trying to punk us. Really, she's a Democrat in disguise. And what she's doing is she's showing how lunatically that the arguments that the right is making That's what she's really trying to do. Because if she believe that, she's some kind of special. But all y'all for smoking marijuana, look at her. Just look at her. And I'm not saying that people smoke end up like her, but that's a possibility. That's why I'm going to just say no. My answer going to be just say no. Now, y'all can disagree with me, I don't care. But that lady didn't make no sense. I'm sitting here still trying to figure out, but Trump has his own satellite. Wouldn't it be bankrupt by this time? Let me shut up.
They have been keeping this secret Biden ballots in the space station ever since Trump won in 2016. They send the Vatican Republican ballots to the space place, and then Biden.
Yeah, because they're saying that they sent the Vatican sent them.
Lord, my head hurt.
The people in
America. By the way,
America.
Parker, they're good to figure out that in 2016, that in 2020, it was going to be Biden. They're good. Oh, Lord, my head hurt.
She wins. She is the clear winner. I don't think I've heard conspiracy theory. Like I said, I'm with Susan. That's the most ridiculous.
It was China that intercepted the Trump's. It was China that intercepted the Trump satellites.
Oh, she's wrong. It's China. He always says it like that. China.
And by the way, I want y'all to stop spelling it like that because one of my favorite female wrestlers' name is China, and that's exactly how she spells it. So y'all stop that.
I thought she had passed on.
She did. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it didn't end the way. You didn't know that?
No.
China been dead.
She was that bulked up woman, right, with the black hair?
Yeah.
Okay. And she was dating Triple H before he dumped her for Stephanie McMahon.
China died in 2016. Wow. She gone now? But she was one of my favorite female wrestlers, though. Well, second favorite. She's my second favorite.
They intercepted the vote and they...
We're gonna move on to.
Please do, cause
let it go, Tracy. Let it go.
She's making my head hurt.
Let it go. Let it go.
I'm trying, but once they get in your head, it's like it won't go nowhere. And then I'm gonna be at work thinking.
It is for mine, because the only thing I can think of is, boy, I can't wait for the next one, because that was a good one. All right, for everybody that misses Bill Clinton, here he is.
Who's your favorite fictional president?
Oh man, there have been so many good ones. I like Tony Goldwyn. I liked Martin Sheen. I liked Michael Douglas. I loved Harrison Ford and Morgan Freeman and Donald Trump. And I don't know, I liked all of them.
That was too easy, though.
He the one encouraged Trump to run, so he really should keep his mouth shut. Was I supposed to let this? If it wasn't for y'all talking about him 24/7, I wouldn't have won. But hey, that's just me.
That's the only thing I even feel about Clinton. What was so funny was when Donald Trump, ha 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 ha. What are y'all friends?
Probably still are.
What? No, I got pictures. What are y'all buddies at what point?
It was Clinton who convinced Trump to run in the first place. Do they really want me to go there? Y'all don't really want me to go there.
He thought wifey was going, yeah. Anyway.
We all did. We like until she didn't go to Wisconsin, Michigan, and them other states she didn't go to, and then blame Bernie. But hey, whatever, chick. Whatever.
So this next video, because we got to get it on, because I got to get on up out of here, is y'all want to know what's coming next with Roe versus Wade being overturned? Here it is.
Hold on one second. Let me get this call. Hi, welcome to the Michigan Women's Clinic. How may I help you? Oh, yeah. Okay. You want to make an appointment? I understand. Yeah, you'll be coming from Florida? Okay. Just 1 minute. Can I have your last name, please? Okay. Thank you. Just 1 second. I just have to look up your voter history. Oh, yes, ma'am. That is public knowledge now. Ever since Roe v. Wade was overturned, a lot of the right to privacy precedents that were set went away with it. So now we do have a right to view your voter history. So let me just, oh, I'm so sorry. I can see that you voted Republican in 2022 and 2024. So I am not going to be able to make this appointment for you. Oh, I know it's frustrating, but we have to give priority to the people who voted in their own best interest. And because of your vote, we're one of the few states that allow it. So we're pretty booked up. Yeah, if you want nice things, you gotta vote for nice things. But enjoy that new baby. Congrats.
They'll still vote Republican, unfortunately.
You can. But this is what's going to happen.
They don't care. They're just losing the right
No,
to control
hey.
their own bodies. Then
Okay.
they'll lose the right to vote. And then, well, no, because some of them think women shouldn't. I've literally heard women say women shouldn't have the right to vote. What am I talking about? Yes, I've heard, Anna, women say that women shouldn't never have had.
I've heard it too. Yep.
I'm like, you realize you're female, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's some special ones out there. Special.
I'm going to go on to this next one so I can go ahead and make sure that I answer Parker's question at the end. And it's lighthearted to me because I remember it. It almost brought a tear to my eye, to be honest with you.
Back in the 80s, as far as cable channels go, HBO was the place to be. In fact, before any feature presentation movie, they would play this wicked cool intro with some really good theme music that's sure to spark some nostalgia in anyone that was alive and watched HBO back then. See if you remember this intro.
Them were the days.
Woo!
What them are the days?
Boy, I put in my inner Anna. And when it got to that, boy, I was like, I remember this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, too bad y'all conglomerated. Y'all just took that everything out and now y'all DC.
And sure, it looked like little 3D, little fake modular. Oh well, who cared? The music was awesome.
No, the movie rocks.
No, I mean the music. I meant the music.
I remember when cable was first introduced, the selling point was you pay for it so there wouldn't be any.
And now that's
And
all
Nikki,
there are.
it's still the same.
No.
Yes, it is. YouTube does that. YouTube,
Yeah.
You can pay YouTube and they'll take the ads off.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go straight to whatever it is that you want to watch.
But then we wouldn't get all the awesome commercials that we had.
Good.
Mr. Whipple, Where's the Beef? Mr. Clean.
My brother from another mother.
Al.
Hello, Al. What's going on, man?
Hey.
That's when that was the closest thing to poor folks could get
In the hood, yep, sure
You
was.
ain't never lied.
You're right.
Oh, that was shred.
Because I'm gonna tell you what's so funny about what he said, and I told my wife this recently. I literally thought there was a rule in movies, all types of movies, that breasts shown in movies couldn't be a certain size. Because there was the littlest breast I ever seen in my life. So I just assumed that you could have.
Hold on, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Friday the 13th.
What's wrong with women with little boobs?
It ain't nothing wrong with little boobs. I'm just saying, if I'm
You
going
leave
to
them
eyes
little
to tell
boob
to look at a
women.
movie,
You leave us little boob women out of this. We
ain't
ain't do
nothing
nothing
wrong
to
with little
nobody.
boobs. Ain't nothing wrong with little
You
boobs.
just said they the littlest things
I just assumed that was a rule. Like, hey, what you got there? A C? Come on in. What's that? A D? D plus? No, can't put you in this movie, but I'm gonna introduce you to my man, Mr. Shift. He gonna put you in a different type of movie, and we're gonna see what we can do with that. So yeah, I really did as a kid. I really thought there was a rule because it's like we was really excited to see it, but it's like. Johnny, I know we're in the middle of the woods, and I know that this used to be the place where the killer was, but I seem to be butt naked and just want to go walk in on you while you're taking a shower. Can I come in? Burr, burr, burr. It was like, hey. Oh. Well, it's better than nothing, I guess.
Now we're better than nothing.
Yeah, there you go. I'm just, hey. I had ad
Yes
for years. I got ads anywhere, including Young Turks.
It's a free download. No, it's not in it. They show commercials on YouTube. Well, not.
I pay for mine.
No.
I pay for mine now. I pay for
If
mine.
you download ad block, you will be able to block those commercials.
Yeah, I pay for YouTube now to get no ads. And
I
by
do
the way,
too.
to be honest with you, I was the one that sat there and said, YouTube, you ain't gonna get no money for the ads. I'm gonna tell you what they wound up doing.
Getting money from the ads.
No, they wound up going from 2 commercials to 3 commercials. Do you want to understand how irritating this is when you're trying to listen to something while you're taking a shower and you go through this one commercial? Okay, let's just get through it. The second commercial, okay, let's do the third commercial. Do you have a problem with your bowel movement? Yo, hey, hey.
Hey, those on TV.
Hey, bro, I'm in the shower and everything. I want to hear this crap. I don't want to say crap. I don't want to hear this while I'm in the shower. And by the way, Tracy, what's funny is get the wrong commercial. Because you thinking 15, 20-second commercial.
Yeah, the regular.
So they have one that's like 3 minutes long.
Oh, no, that's a show.
They had one that's 3 minutes long, and they know you hate it because nah, man.
I still want to know what ad block is. Is it free to download?
The only good commercials I get was from Menu Log. I don't know what Menu Log is, Colin. Let me know what
No
that
idea. Yeah.
I got the Danish ads that was so stupid for Danish TV. Exactly. They know they weren't gonna put that stuff
must be
on
the rare
TV.
person that likes commercials. I think they're funny.
Breast couldn't be
certain
size. No wonder I couldn't make it into Hollywood. They didn't appreciate boobs bouncing off their knees.
Some of us don't have them bouncing off the knees.
No, Tracy, you don't see any of those ads. I don't pay YouTube.
I thought you were saying TYT. I'm like, yeah, they do have ads. They do all them ad breaks.
Yeah, my ad block sucks then. Yeah, I pay them like $11. I think I paid YouTube like $11 for something. And it wasn't even for the ad block. It was literally for something else.
YouTube Premium, it
was YouTube Premium.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
and
we're going to get out of here, but I made a promise that I was going to answer this question, so we're going to have to get up out of here. So we're going to go ahead and answer it. They have been not that one. Okay, here you go. Do you have a prediction for things that will happen this week? Any reaction to Roe versus Wade overturned? For example, worker strike, more mass protests, etc. There are going to be more protests for weeks to come. There are going to be more protests, and if I had to really guess, there's going to be a lot of lawsuits coming across the line, and a lot from both sides. This is not over by a long shot. As a matter of fact, I would stretch to say this is the very beginning. That's why I keep telling people, keep your head up. This ain't over. This is going to be rough, but it ain't over. And there's going to be workers striking.
I wish.
Don't you be like, we ain't coming to work.
I don't see that happening because worker strikes they're trying to keep it for unions, and I can't blame them. I know what we want. I get it.
But it doesn't have to be all of America going on strike.
Yeah, but I think worker strikes is going to be forms of being unionized and things like that. I don't think this is going to be used for this. Massive protests and things like that. Yeah, it's going to happen, and it's going to be violent. You probably didn't see my show at the beginning when I said that the violent protests are going to happen, even with the far right telling people when you go to protest to come strapped.
And we're the ones that are violent.
So it's going to get rough. I'm just letting you know off the bat, it is going to get rough. Prepare yourself for the news and the pushback on all of this. Just prepare yourself for it. So I want to just make sure that I did answer that question before we leave out of here. One last thing before we get out of here. I'm one of the small boob women.
Thank you, Susan. We got more than that coming.
The red states are in an economic and social nightmare with these abortion laws. They will. Sorry, I will put that in there. Is that the red states are going to be in a economic free fall? However, they're not going to care because they're not the ones that's keeping the United States going up. That's the blue states.
Yep, all the blue states.
I'm not making a joke about it at all. You can look it up. The blue states have paid a lot more taxes to the United States far than the red states, so they don't give a rat's ass about losing money on this. They wasn't making money anyway, so what's the big deal to them? We have to get up out of here.
Yep, so I got to be at work at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Anna, tell everybody where they can find you.
At BoreliaEtc.com, BoreliaEtc.com.
And
the same thing on YouTube. I will be posting the videos on the site. So
I mean, what's the name of your YouTube? It's not Borelia.
It actually is.
It's From the Heart.
Straight from the Heart is part of the videos.
You be trying so hard.
Lord. Anna Straight from the Heart on YouTube, which will have those videos from Borelia.com. Same concept, but y'all go check out Straight from the Heart by Anna on YouTube.
You can also find me just Borelia, etc.
I try to promote y'all so much. Tracy, tell everybody where they can find you.
TracyMediaLLC.com and Tracy Media LLC all platforms.
You will find me this coming Friday night, guys. We'll be returning for our 4th of July show where it's just me and Theus, and we will just be tripping out, laughing at each other, laughing at other people, and blah, 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 and everything else. You will also find me next Saturday at Saturday Night Vibe with the whole crew together. Next Saturday at 9 p.m. is the standard time. However, there will not be a Radical Truth to Power next Sunday. That is the 4th of July weekend. I want everybody to take a chill pill and to chill out and revamp, because I am a firm believer on regrouping and refocus to go the long yards instead of the short ones and burn yourself out. Refocus, regroup, spend time with your family, spend time with your friends. And after the 4th of July, we are right back into the fight. Brunch has still been canceled, as they say. So we're going to get right back into it. Let me take care of a couple of more statements, and we're going to get out of here. Can't be up with large breasts of women on TV lay on their back with their boobs straight up proudly. Sorry, when they're that large, they can run and hide in your armpit. And I'm calling it straight from the heart. I subscribe to that. Thank you very much, Susan. I appreciate it. So that is it for our show. And until next time, I will see you. We will see you when we see you. Please do not forget to hit that like button on the way out the door. Peace.